Not Shadow's failing to commentate because he's swallowing a bite of his sandwich. Hello! Welcome everybody back to the final match of round 1 of the Sly Optimal Loot Tournament. And real quick, shoutouts to Mr. Even Stevens for the raid. You are very much appreciated. My name is Shadows, hoping that everyone in chat is still beautiful and is not sick of my voice at this point. I am joined by my wonderful co-commentator, also with a sexy voice, just like my past two, Mr. Ostrava. How you doing today, pal?
Doing good, Shadows. How are you doing? We got ourselves an exciting match coming up.
That we do. We have a matchup between two good old American boys to figure out who will be facing yours truly. I've been sitting here this whole time. A lot of entertaining matches thus far, but now I will finally get to see who will have the honor of getting 5 loots in 5 minutes in the second round when I play them, because that's how this seemed to go. But regardless of how the luck goes, we have to see who I am playing first. On the left side of my screen, we have This Is Not Jake.
Yo, do I say something? I'm
yes,
here.
You do. That counts. Good job. You got it. And on the other side of him, oh my god, it's the enemy of the Sly series. It's the oh wait, never mind. It's Slinq17. How are you doing, my good friend?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing good.
Ready? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Happy to have both of you here, and we are happy to have yet another exciting race for this beautiful community on our hands. So, gentlemen, we have already gone over the rules prior to this race starting, so I'm sure we don't need to go over those again. But if you are new to the Sly 4 Optimal Loot Tournament, rules are pretty box standard. Have to get all 5 of the most optimal loots per episode, episode 6 notwithstanding. You have a 7-minute period where you have to stay in the episode. After that, you may move on at the cost of incurring a 2-minute penalty. If runners finish within 10 seconds of each other, we will go to a bunch of tiebreakers, starting with who has collected the most loots. Otherwise, the person to finish first is the winner. So if we are clear on that front, gentlemen, please take your place hovering over your characters, and I will begin the countdown. We will go on go. Are you both set?
I'm ready.
Wonderful. Alrighty. 3, 2, 1... Let's go.
Ooh.
Best of luck, gentlemen.
Thank you very
Best
much.
of luck, everyone.
Thank you.
Wow, that was like a perfectly synchronized
Yeah, that was
exit.
Yeah, definitely started at the exact same time.
Probably like the first time we've had that. So, and I think we also saw that both of these people are going to be picking Sly. So unless we see some shadow strats where people decide to mix it up, we're going to be seeing the classic Sly strats using Cole's amp and WoW. Both of the people have absolutely 100% complete files. That's cool. How do you feel about the Sly strats though, Strava? Do you have a preference of character?
Myself, preference of character. I've been experimenting a little bit. After seeing the Bentley strats, I myself want to try them. Sly's a decent, good character, but I feel like in some episodes, other characters might be a bit more beneficial. I think something I was testing, I think Murray might be slightly viable in episode 2, just with some specific gadgets.
Really?
Like, not like super fast, but like, just because it's mostly flat, you can actually kill guards at a decent pace and actually refresh things.
Yeah. So not necessarily the most fast option, but you can do it, is what you mean by that. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. I guess you're not also the first person to think about that. We have seen Kaluk do one kind of iteration with Murray where in a previous episode, I believe it was episode 2, he went into the job, Grand Key Larceny in the Murray section, and then started to use the Looty Shake and all the Coyote guards. But I would honestly be interested if you were talking about having fun in these episodes, if you were going to pull out Murray strats, to see how that would be applicable. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a way to do it, even with the big guards and having the issues of not being able to pick them up if they detect you.
Yeah, that's just... They really took that away from Murray too in this game, huh? Because even if you think about the previous game, Murray had the... What is it?
The knockup hit.
What?
Well, at least in this game, like, the only way you can pick up a character is with the circle press.
Yeah,
So,
no, but
so
I was gonna, sorry, go ahead, sorry.
but I think the thing is there's no real, like, knock-up hit to allow you to pick up and hold any character, like, an enemy character.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, in Sly 3, one of Murray's greatest gadgets was the Berserker Charge, where even if you got spotted, it wasn't even like Sly where you had to back up, smoke bomb, and then get away from people. It was just, oh shoot, I got caught, let me Berserker Charge, everyone's on their back, and then I can pick someone up and keep shaking them. So that was yet another big piece of utility that Murray had that just Murray really doesn't have anything in this game though. Like all of his fun power-ups. Oh, and
Ooh,
there is
wow,
Slinq
Slinq.
there with the first loot of the match. As I say, breaks up me crap talking Murray, thankfully, because I don't like doing it. I wish Murray was more viable in this game. But yeah, think off to episode 2. But yeah, Murray, they just took away all of his like cool tech. No Aboriginal Ball, no Berserker Charge, no even like Guttural Roar or anything. They gave Bob that ability basically that like scares cards away. If Murray had that, like at least that's something. But nah, he just unviable, unfortunately. So
It's surprising that like there's the clothesline attack, but it doesn't work how you would think.
what even
Well,
is
at
the?
least
Is that like a
you
charge attack or what is that?
it's somewhat of a charge attack, but it just does damage. It doesn't knock anybody over, which you would think a clothesline would knock people over.
Mm.
But the thing is you can see that both runners here, with getting the loot, they aren't too familiar with the shapes of the loot, so they're looting everything that they see. It looks like.
Yeah. Excuse me, I have a piece of sandwich in my mouth. I just got back from a little gym visit, but yeah, no, I don't blame them. With obviously both of these runners being pretty experienced, but I know Slinq said he only had like one run completed to his name, and even if you are an experienced any percent runner of this game, looting isn't exactly something we do much in the 80% run because more often than not, unless it's an auto scroller, taking loot like loses time compared to getting the actual gadgets. So not very viable. So if you're inexperienced with this game, it really doesn't surprise me if you don't know what the loot is. Some of them are pretty obviously there, like the silver belt buckle is pretty distinguishable, and some other ones. But for the most part, kind of gotta take a quick second before you kill a guy.
Yeah. But for you, what has historically been your worst episode of trying to get a loot?
Ooh. Also, Jake scared me for a second. I thought he was gonna go back in the hideout. People know, but my worst episode historically, I would say, is probably episode 4, honestly. Which might sound strange to some, considering there's a lot of good guard spawns in EP4, but I don't know, like EP2, even with it being so wide and it being the widest hub world in the game, I feel like there's a lot of good places to loop back around, especially if you can make Bentley work, like Frizz and some other people have demonstrated. You can just adrenaline burst back and forth.
Wow, there's Slinq again.
Oh yeah, no, you're totally right. There's the belt buckle. I keep missing the loots. I'm sorry. We keep getting on a really good topic, and Slinq keeps getting the loot. Jake, unfortunately, not having a great round of luck right now, and if that timer is accurate for the overall game, he is going to have to skip this episode, or he will be able to skip episode 1 in a little bit. Slinq off to a very hot start, though. We'll have to see if Jake can't pull this back.
Normally, what I've seen for a lot of other runners, episode 3 is the toughest for them. This is where everybody gets the brakes hit on them sometimes.
Yeah, no, definitely. We have seen, this is the thing about optimal loot, is like you can go on an absolute tear with a run, but you can get that taken away from you just as quickly. So, like I said, we'll have to see if Slink's run is going to continue to pile on, or if maybe Jake will be able to bring this back, if he'll get something to go his way. We have seen before, Slinq totally, or excuse me, Jake totally wouldn't be the first guy in this tournament who has had to skip an episode and ends up pulling it back. I think we just saw Powerman. We just saw Powerman grab or skip 2 loots in the last race match, and he still pulled it out. So it'll be.
I was able to watch snippets of that match. Shame that I didn't get to see it, but seeing like, oh, Gandy's clearly had it, and then I had to go back into work, and I'm just like, come back at the end and just.
And
oh, there we go.
What Jake needs. There are his ivory chopsticks. I finally got that grammatically correct. I totally butchered saying like there are like is ivory chopsticks or something stupid in the previous match. Jake there with a little bit of humor on his side, but yeah, no, he's got the chopsticks moving on.
Wow,
and Slinq says right back at you, amigo. Give me that mask. 7 minutes in the time you would take in one episode, Slinq is halfway through the match, and he is just on an absolute tear. We could see Slinq embrace the owl in his profile picture and just continue to fly through this tournament. I mean, holy smokes.
Let's see if episode 4 treat him nice with the owls there. Will they be his best friend, or will they hate him?
Yeah, well, I mean, the owls, yeah, you know, he'll be like the predators. He can pick up all the little rats, and like maybe if they could get loot, but nah. Maybe the owls, like the owl guards, they'll be nice to him. Say like, hey, we gotta help brother out. Give him some money. You know, give him a loan. I'll give him this dragon eye back later. I'll go slay another one. Something like that. You never know. Yeah, I mean, holy crap for Slinq though, just taking a seems like a long time on the load. I don't know why it seemed long, but you know, Slinq just getting really good luck. And if I could finally touch back on that point I was bringing up earlier, yeah, episode 4, it just kind of feels like no matter who you're playing as, there aren't a lot of good spots for loots. And even if you're trying to jump back and forth with rooftops with Sly, you can just find yourself getting spread out all over the map a lot of the time, and then you know, you get lost, and then there's a lot of times where guys just don't have loot. I don't know. That's me personally, but I guess on that same topic of Strava, oh crap, you totally mentioned what your least favorite episode is, haven't
It's
you?
not it's not really my least favorite episode. It just for me for some reason I get incredibly bad luck on episode 2. It's like I rotate the guards. It just seems like they don't have loots for me, at least not when I want them.
Yeah, see, I think it is just based on like people's luck in different episodes, because that what you just described is literally me in episode 4, where even if you go around the hub world and find a bunch of places with guards, not necessarily good loots with loot, they just do not have loot a lot of the time, and then you can end up wasting way more time than you do. I remember in most of my runs I ended up getting like staying in episode 4 for upwards of 10 minutes, like it was Sly 3, so that's my personal least favorite, and I'm glad to hear that. I'm kind of interested to hear that that's like, you know, everybody has different luck in different episodes, though. Interesting to see the take on it. And Jake, oh boy, he doesn't want this to get interesting, so Slinq has some great luck, but Jake over here on the left side of the screen not going away, making the French enjoyers proud. He's now in episode 3, and don't look now, but it was only a few matches ago where a certain somebody was 2 episodes behind and managed to pull this back, not to toot my own horn, but yeah, flashing that sexy man pick. We'll have to see if Jake's luck can't continue to carry him back into this race. Slinq obviously having a little bit of a rough start in episode 4, so this could be exactly what he needs.
I think, as we spoke before, I don't think the owls are going to be kind to him today. But one thing I've noticed, both Slinq has also been frequenting the same areas. I've found it a bit odd that he chose to frequent the village first before coming into the castle walls, because the guard concentration inside the walls is a lot heavier in some areas than compared to the village.
Yeah, that is one thing I will agree with you on. Also, excuse me, sandwich mouth again. It's the last bite of the sandwich, so this will be the last time. But you are right. Like, once you get inside the castle walls, that is where a majority of the guards are. And,
and there's Jake. He's come back.
Jake with a comeback. We are now all tied up at 3 loots apiece, ladies and gentlemen. And Slinq, he's been in this episode for a while. He's probably gone through like half his time, so he might have to skip. Don't look now. This just got really interesting in the snap of a finger. Oh boy.
Man,
I picked a good time to finish that sandwich. Now I can really commentate this baby. Let's go.
Perfect timing. You just showing off the script without showing off the script. I understand you, Shadow.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Just show it a little bit, but don't completely make it out. Oh man. Yeah. Also, I guess one other thing I forgot to point out earlier, but notice that Jake has every mask in the game, so he could be using Cole's amp, but he's using the base cane. I don't know if that's like, if he just doesn't know about Cole's amp or what's the deal, but just choosing not to.
From what I've noticed from Jake is he hasn't been killing guards, obviously. Either he cycles in such a way to where the guard somehow despawns, then re-loots, or he goes around the level a specific way. Not sure. Probably something to ask him about.
Perhaps after the race, yeah, again, I don't want to make my first assumption that like he doesn't know about the tools, but perhaps he doesn't, or perhaps he just feels like he doesn't need them. I mean, clearly if he's flashing the GIFs every time or GIFs, depending on how you pronounce it, if he's flashing the GIFs every time he gets a loot, he might just be out here for fun. So maybe he says, you know what, screw the Cole's amp, I don't need any of this techie stuff, this is not another game, I am the Sly Cooper, and I am going to get all these loots as such. You never know, maybe he's just out here having fun, which he should be, so. Yeah, though neither of these runners looks like getting pretty lucky. Jake's only been in here for like a minute or so, but
Yep.
Yeah, Slinq is definitely coming up on what, 5 minutes now? He's been in here for a while.
Yeah, he spent most of this run here in episode 4.
See, this is what I'm saying though. Like, it's so crazy how in like literally in the span you would spend in one episode, he got 3 loots, and now he's just
Oh wow, Jake with the restart checkpoint.
yeah. See, well, that is honestly a legitimate strat, especially if he's not killing guards. That might be the best case scenario because now you're right back here, gets a few more checks here, and then I guess he wants to go back
into the
inside.
walls.
Yeah, go back inside the castle walls, maybe check some stuff out there. I don't know though.
Oh, there it is,
well,
Jake.
he clearly doesn't need to go
Wow.
inside the castle walls
Worked
because
right
he's
for him.
got the eye. He's got the eye. Oh my gosh, Jake with a ferocious comeback.
Yep.
Slinq of all the episodes, episode 4, just kicking his ass right now. And don't look now, ladies and gentlemen, but from like what? He was almost 3 episodes behind.
Yes, almost 3 episodes behind.
Yeah, almost 3 episodes behind. Jake now just 1 pull away from winning this thing, and he's going with Salim for the memes. You gotta love this man, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Salim's a pretty good choice. Other than, I don't know how Salim's takedown is the lamp, but with how Jake's been playing, it seems like that won't be an issue.
It's like a lot of the other Ancestors takedowns where it has a little bit of slowdown, but besides that, you know, you could call it Nave strats, I guess, because Nave has talked a little bit about how he thinks personally Salim would be one of the best choices for this tournament if you have to pick an Ancestor, because he has the flying carpet, which, you know, paraglider, always a good utility tool, so you never know, but yeah, no, Salim, I don't think he has the same utility as Sly with all the gadgets and the paraglide dive and everything, but perhaps a viable choice. We'll see if it works out. First guy with loot here could be it.
Yeah, we could be finishing up there right now.
Will it be, though?
Wait,
I don't
we
know.
can't see it.
Can't see it.
Oh,
Nope,
nope.
it's not. All right. Not that time, but we'll see. A lot more time to go, of course. Now, here's the thing, though, folks. Remember, again, for those of you who are new, episode 5 is hard required. There are no skips. This is the end point of the run, so Jake could potentially spend, like, he could double the match time right here looking for this ring, and Slinq, even if he takes a skip, could potentially catch back up, because if he skips this and then gets the ring pretty fast, Jake is on the clock, so yeah, this could go either way, man.
For the skip to work out for Slinq, he's gonna have to. It's gonna have to be pretty soon to where that 2-minute penalty doesn't cut into him too hard.
That's what I'm thinking. Is I don't know if they're talking in VC. From how they were talking to us pre-match, I would almost assume they are, but I would think if Slinq knows where he is, he's gonna have to skip, and he will.
There's Slinq with the skip.
Yeah. Jake getting some nice roasted scorpion tails there. I've heard they taste just like chicken. Yeah,
Hey
Slinq
man,
now.
sometimes if you're thinking there quickly, that round shape of the scorpion tail does look like the ring if you're not looking for the red.
No, I think I've done that a few times before in practice. I thought the scorpion tail was the ring, which is not there. Jake's gotten a few guys with loot now, just none of them have been the one, so Slinq definitely still with a chance here. He might have like 30% less trophies collected, but don't sleep on him, folks. This man could easily catch back up, so we'll have to see. Like I said, any run or any pull could be the one, but now, with him having skipped episode 4, excuse me, even if he does get the loot super fast, he's going to have to hope that Jake just has worse luck. I thought he pulled it there. See, you got me there for a minute, Ostrava. I saw literally what we were just talking about happened. I saw the round shape, and I stopped talking for a split second because I thought, holy crap, he got the ring. But nah. Not today.
Never lucky.
Never lucky, no. Both of them pulling up with guys on loot now. Getting knocked away.
Unlucky there.
The snake kind of getting in his way. Can't see. Did he get something? Yeah, see, here you're running into a bit of a problem with Salim with Jake is that Salim, of course, doesn't have any tech, no smoke bomb, no anything, so get caught by a guard, your best bet is to kind of just hide away and hope for the best.
We always appreciate the ancestor strats. Like, I think another good ancestor would be Ryuichi, especially with how episode 1's designed, using his jump dash to get around the map to where you want to go quickly would be beneficial. But the only good thing about him is the Silent Spirit, because his takedown is the longest out of all the ancestors.
That wouldn't surprise me. It's probably not by much, but it definitely does take a long time, which is... There's this one scenario in one of the jobs where if you get caught as Ryuichi or something, and you have to... Not get caught, but if you have to stealth slam a guard with Ryuichi in the speedrun, you feel how much time loss it gives, because it is just so slow. So I agree with you there, Ostrava. And like I said, especially with the new crazy Ryuichi launches where you get stuck on stuff, he could totally be a fun choice for EP1, so I agree with you there. Definitely do.
Oh man, Jake is getting some bad patrol routes with these two guards.
Yeah, these guards, if you've run episode 5, you know the pain, but sometimes these guys can just be stacked on top of each other and just make it really hard for you to get around. And like I said, this is why I'm really surprised of all the episodes he chose this one to mix it up. Is that, I can't even tell what it is. He's going to restart checkpoint
I
again.
think that was a scorpion tail.
Yeah, scorpion tail. See, I'd only ever mistaken those two loots like once until you made me think like, oh wait, is it not? No, it's cool though. But you know, oh man, yeah. But see, this is another reason why I'm kind of surprised. I do agree with like the paraglider being a good strat, but the monkey guards are definitely the most annoying in the run to deal with. So if there's any episode where you want to have smoke bomb or sleep bombs or something like that, just to make these guys a little less hard to deal with, I would definitely think this is the one. But Jake's true to his word, and he likes the strats, so I'll give him credit for trying it, you know? It's cool to see Salim. It's cool that we're not just seeing the same two characters for the entire tournament. I've loved seeing the Ancestors, the Kaluk strats, and whatnot. It's been cool, for sure.
Also seeing the Bentley strats in the first couple matches of round 1. Bentley seems extremely viable in some places.
Oh yeah, that too. Like, this has been the case with both Optimal Loot tournaments now, where I think going into Sly 3 especially, everyone just thought, okay, it's Sly, and just get the loot to Sly as fast as possible. Nobody really thought about the other characters because, yeah, you can loot with them, but nobody really knows the utility. And then you have people like Frizz who just go out there and say, you know what? I want to experiment with this. I want to see how it is. And it turns out, you know, everyone else starts using the strats because they are viable. We just kind of got to find some utility with them. So maybe we find some more cool utility with the character for this challenge later on. Maybe we see another character before the end of this tournament. Who knows? Could be interesting. Speaking of interesting, man, I mean, I don't want to say I'm shaking in my boots over here, but both runners now kind of getting stonewalled with the same loot luck. And man, Jake has gotten so many guys with loot. So I've just been sitting over here wondering, like, okay, this is going to be the guy. This is going to be the guy. This one. But hasn't happened yet. Slinq, meanwhile, just running laps around the entire hub world, and it seems like no one has had loot. So one of their luck pools is going to turn around in an instant, and it's going to be very interesting to see which is which. And Jake, again, just having the hardest time staying out of guard's vision and maintaining the loots, which has really cost him a lot of time here.
Yeah. Salim does have with his stealth kill. It's, I believe his is the only. Do all the ancestors have sound obliteration on there? Oh, and there's Slinq.
But there is the pull right off the bat. Slinq gets the ring, but Jake has 2 minutes. So that was pulled at when 34-ish. So Slinq, Jake, give it till around 22 and a half minutes. Otherwise, Slinq is the winner. We'll have to see if he can pull the ring out of any of these pockets and not another round object like a scorpion tail. I'm sorry, Gustav, what were you saying? I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. But yeah, I saw it too, just the last second. I saw that wonderful, beautiful red ruby ring too. I was about to pop off as well.
Yeah. All right, so I'm seeing, according to Master Mod Nave, we're going with 242 because remember, 2 minutes added on to this time, obviously. 232 is the time Jake has to beat to win. But if he finishes within 22:42, I might have said 2:42 there, excuse me. But if he finishes within or before 22:42, we have to go to a tiebreaker. Then that will be within the 10-second threshold. And, well, Jake, actually, if we go to a tiebreaker, Jake still wins because he has more loots. So,
yep, it'll go to loots.
So he's got about a minute here, folks. We'll have to see. Just all eyes on Jake. Slinq shaking in his boots right now. They're probably both laughing. I would love to hear what this voice call is like right now. It's probably hysterical. I can't wait to talk about this with them after the run. Jake's just got to find some more guys with loots, though. Now all of a sudden, the loots are nowhere to be found. Not seeing any. Not there. There's one. Okay. Here's the pull. This is going to be one of his last pulls. What's he going to have? Can he not get spotted? It's another scorpion tail.
We got one more guard.
Yeah, definitely one more guard. It's going to be it. Here you go. This could be your match, folks. Missed a pickpocket. That's another reason why Salim's not great, because he doesn't have the moving pickpocket. And it's a pearl earring, and within 10 more seconds, he's not going to have the time, and that will do it. Slinq says, I will see you, Shadows, in the second round. He is moving on to the next match of the Optimum Loot tournament. If he had pulled the ring there, I would have.
Oh, it would have been a second off.
Tragic.
But that's the match. Slinq is our winner and gets a
Slinq
second
got
ruby
another
ring to show off.
Oh my god. Power and Slinq both, man. Slinq took a note out of Power Man's book. He just said, you know what? Flexing on him. I got all the rings. You're not getting any of these.
Jake almost got the comeback, took the lead for a little bit there, but it seems like that comeback luck just puttered out on him.
Not quite. Yeah, what a match though. Seriously. It right at the start, within that first like 7-minute threshold, it looked like Slinq was just gonna blow this out of the water, and then Jake with the ferocious comeback attempt, unfortunately just coming up a little bit short. Let's see here, so I'm gonna go look in the runners chat if they are, yeah. So moderator is taking care of the duties of pulling them into the commentators voice chat, so I will not worry about that myself. And I believe they are coming in right now. Any second now. Don't make me a liar. There you go.
There we go.
Alrighty. Gentlemen. Holy smokes. What a race. Thank you both for playing. That was amazing to watch. So, I guess before we go to anyone specifically, were you guys talking that whole time?
We talked occasionally.
It was pretty quiet. We were focused, but we were chatting.
God. I can't imagine. I was sitting here wondering, like, Slinq, after you pulled that ring, I can just imagine Jake with his trademark laugh going like, no, there's no guys with loot anymore. What is happening? Or something like that.
That
But
was pretty close.
yeah, no, believe me, close doesn't even begin to describe it. So, Slinq, man, first of all, congratulations on the victory last minute. You had such a torrent start, but then episode 4 just giving you the red behind. How do you feel, man, and how did you feel about the match and the way it went?
I was feeling really good until episode 4, and then it all felt like it was falling apart. Saw Jake was getting some loots pretty quick, and got a little scared, but we got a little lucky in episode 4 or episode 5.
Honestly, both of you had a pretty... Well, both of you took a long time in episode 5, obviously. Like, it felt like Slinq, just a late game, really not giving you as much luck. But yeah, Jake, to kind of shift things over, we were all sitting over here in comms thinking like, oh gosh, Slinq might just be about to tear this open. And then you, within the span of probably 10 minutes, if we go back and watch the VOD, just got loot after loot after loot, just unfortunately not getting the last one you needed.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. I was definitely feeling like I was going to be a little sad if Slinq puts up a world record and I don't get out of episode 1. But yeah, I'm glad I managed to get a little lucky in 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, no, I've been in your shoes before though, Jake. It's like, it's tough when you're there in the tournament for fun. You're expecting things to go well, and then here I am in the second round of Sly 3. I'm in episode 3, and meanwhile Avatar's gotten every loot in like 10 minutes. So feels bad, man. But I really appreciate you playing, dude. Seriously, you guys gave us such an entertaining match. And Jake, one more thing. What's with the Salim strats? Is this something you have planned on doing, or did you just kind of say, you know what, we're out here having fun?
I wanted to pick one ancestor for sure. And I didn't pick one until episode 5. So I said, fuck it. I had a big lead. I had plenty of chances to win, but just didn't find it.
I mean, you did have a big lead. Like, even when Slinq got the loot, you had 2 minutes and change to get the win. The win straight up, because with the amount of loots you guys had, Slinq obviously having to skip one, you would have won the tiebreaker by default. So if you had gotten it within that threshold, it would come out. But yeah, like I said, just a little bit short, fortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, though. So gentlemen, any final thoughts, words of wisdom for the rest of the tournament going forward?
Just thank you, chat. Thank you, Nave, for hosting as always. The community appreciates what you do.
Mm-hmm. And someone picked Tennessee before the tournament's over. Thank you.
Amen to that. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, there is your entire first round of the tournament filled out. Mr. Slinq will be participating in the second round at a time to be determined, where he will be facing off against yours truly in a battle for the ages, which is actually going to end up with him getting like every loot in 10 minutes and me being stuck in episode 1 for the entire run, because that's how that's probably going to go. But regardless of such, thank you all so much for tuning into the tournament, and we hope to continue to see all of you show up for more round 2 matches that should be just as epic. Ostrava, any final words?
No, and any final words? Congratulations to Slinq. I think our next match is coming up fairly soon.
I think it should be. Yeah, someone can remind me of that, but I believe.
I
What
believe
is that?
our
Monday?
next one is Saturday. It's me against Bacon Man.
There you go. So, oh yeah, how could I possibly forget? My man Ostrava here, he is such a competitor in this tournament. And sweet sassafras, it looks like we got ourselves a contender. And he's earned the right to face the champ of the Sly 3 Off the Move tournament. In the other corner, when Ostrava plays next, your defending champion, Bacon Man, will be playing Ostrava. And as I said before, I will be playing Slinq in the next round, alongside many other quality matches and many other quality sets of beautiful commentators. But until then, thank you all for tuning in to SlyGolds. We appreciate you being here. And until next time, stay sneaky, y'all. Take care.
Have a good day, everyone.